Gecko 135th British Bedford radio command truck. What's in the box and initial build steps? Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, it's really good to have you with us. Right, time to start a new kit. Really interesting one this time. It's the Gecko command truck, the British truck. Loads of stuff going on in the back, and obviously with a Gecko kit, it's a really nice kit to build as well. It's just a quick look around the box. There are the CAD drawings that we know and love on a Gecko box. All done on computers, so it's never that easy when you come to building it. But there you go. Right, let's just have a quick look through what's in the box and the instructions, and then we'll get on to doing the build. So Gecko instructions are great. There's loads of information on the front cover, all about the history of the vehicle, and then it takes you straight into what we come to expect now, a sprue map, which is, trust me on this one, it's really useful because there are so many different sprues, and it's easy to find the sprues if you know what shape it is. And then the instructions take us through the build of the chassis first of all, which is a ladder type chassis. Obviously you have to worry about getting it all square, and then it goes through the drive mechanism and the wheels onto my favourite bit, the engine, which if you haven't seen my videos now, you know that I really don't like engines. I'm probably not going to do it as a complete engine, just enough to get away with. And then the exhaust goes on, steering mechanism. You can have the wheels pointed in different directions, which is always nice. And then onto, it's a really complex chassis with loads of bits hanging off. You got fuel tanks, you got a step on the passenger side, and then on the driver's side the step's been replaced by a generator. And then into the inside of the driver's compartment, 2 seats, a couple of rifles in there as well, and then that goes onto the chassis. And then more bits in the engine, the front. And as I say, I'm going to do as little as I can get away with the engine. I'm not going to do it with the bonnet open, so you're not going to see it. I'm not sure about these bonnet tie downs, they look a bit complicated. Yeah, it looks like a really nice kit. And then on to what for me is probably, well, it's the main bit of the kit, isn't it? The rear compartment. Now I want to try something a bit different with how I paint this. I'm going to leave it in like a varnished wood rather than just painting it brown. So I think I've got to do a bit of experimenting, but I think my idea might work. So there'll be lots of wear and tear, lots of flaky varnish I'm going to try, as if it's had loads of people in and out of it and rubbing things around on the worktops and that sort of thing. And then obviously that looks interesting. That's a chain made from 11 individual links. And that's it all just going together. And then in the back it's just full of cabinets and boxes and radios. That's the doors going on and the windows, and they look like they're sort of like plastic, see-through plastic. So again, we need to do some sort of paint effect on those to make them stand out from the glass. Loads and loads of photo etch, as you can see there. Spare wheel going on. Yeah, headphones made up of 5 parts. That's not too scary at all, is it? And then here are the radios. Really nicely modelled. There's no decals for these, so all the dials are going to have to be hand painted. Yeah. So it should be a really interesting model, this one. And that just sits at the front of the rear compartment. And then it has a cage over the top with all the aerials on it. And for some reason, you can put a canvas cover on it, but to me, why would you want to cover that all up with the canvas cover? So look, I guess you could put it on and take it off. I don't know, but to me that looks a bit boring when it's all done up like that. So we shall see. Painting schemes. There's that one from the Headquarters Squadron, 2nd Derbyshire Yeomanry, based in the Netherlands in 1944. There's this one, which is Royal Artillery in France, 1944. I think that's the one I'm going to be doing. And that one's very similar. And again, it's Royal Artillery in Germany, late 45. You also get a ton of accessories for the crew and several different types of weapon. Yeah. Right, let's have a look in the box. I won't go through it all because, as you can see, there's loads and loads and loads of plastic. What I'll do is I'll just pick out a few select sprues and we'll just have a look at the detail on them, but you can see exactly how much there is. There's an awful lot of plastic, which is great. There's probably quite a bit in there that won't get used, but yeah, half of building this model is just organising yourself. So here you go. Here's a few sprues just to look at. That's the engine, and you can see the detail is very good. It's very crisp. This is the wooden boards that make up the rear compartment, and again they're all nicely moulded. There's no wood surface texture, so you might just have to bring a bit of that in, but that's fairly easy to do. I'm sure you've seen me do that before. And then these are the radios. You see it's got all the dials on there, but there's no markings on it or anything, so they're all going to have to be hand painted in. And then here are the all the personal effects of the crew. So you can see loads of bags and that sort of thing. There's a bit of flash on that one, which is unusual, but nothing too serious. And again, bags and sacks and all sorts of things, which is great because you can really individualize it and make the model of your own. There are the weapons it comes with. This is a Sten gun, a Bren gun, and 2 rifles. 4 rifles, sorry. Then you get a nice big sheet of photo etch. There's probably a lot up there. The links for the chain. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Yeah. Loads on there. Probably loads on there I'm not going to use. If I can't control it, then it's not going to go onto the model. Okay, and here are the decals. So 3 options are all split out, which is nice. They're the handwritten numbers for the 3rd option to go on the canvas cover. Um, yeah. Okay, let's get on to building it. So I'm not going to go into great detail because um, I don't find build videos that exciting. Most of it is just me sticking my fingers to stuff. But there you go, that's the first bit being cut out. And then what I'll do is I'll come back at various stages once I've completed a few bits. So there you go, that's the main chassis. You see I've got a slight twist in it, unfortunately. Hopefully that'll come out when I stick the superstructure onto it, but it's just not quite square for some reason. And this is just a fuel tank going on. It's the second side. Most of it goes together quite well. I did have a few placement issues, but on the whole it went together really well. And there you go, that's the chassis just about complete. And then the next step, I got the cab pretty much done and onto the chassis with the wheel arches. And so it goes together okay. I did have a small problem that I think I've worked my way around. But yeah, there you go. So that'll probably do for this week, guys. Just a really quick update as to what's coming next and how I'm getting on. It's going to be interesting, this one, because as I say, there are some new things I want to try with the help of ChatGPT. So please make sure you like and subscribe if you don't want to miss any of the parts. Next week we'll get on to certainly painting the inside of the cab and maybe getting onto the wood effects. So I hope you can join me then. Thanks for watching. As I say, just a really short video this week, but that means you don't have to listen to me for too long. So thanks for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye.